Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine, and this is a review I know a lot of you have been looking forward to, and it's my look at Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, the Super Deluxe Edition box set. Now, I've done a video on every single one of these, from Paranoid to Volume 4 to Sabotage, and now this one. And this review will be brutally honest, like they all have been. And the idea is to give you, the Black Sabbath fan or music collector, a chance to decide whether this is something you want in your collection. And you know that with Sabotage, I advised against it, but I know as Black Sabbath fans, if you bought the others as a collector, you'll probably end up wanting to have it. However, I do want to make sure that, these reviews really help you. As with all the other reviews, I will compare it with the original vinyl, with the first CD and the previous CD remaster, and tell you what I think. So I'm going to do an unboxing video, and then I'm going to sum up and tell you which one I think you should have and what I think of this box set. But first of all, let's think about Technical Ecstasy, because it has this reputation for being one of the lesser essential Black Sabbath albums. This book by Paul Wilkinson, which talks about Black Sabbath, only goes up to Sabotage. It doesn't include Technical Ecstasy because it feels it is inferior to the previous albums. And then we've got Henry Rollins, who says you can only trust the first 6 Black Sabbath albums. I just do not understand this. Here's a fact for you. You can trust every single Black Sabbath album. And if there's a Tony Martin box set, I shall be first in the queue. Ozzy Osbourne was a key part of Black Sabbath, but Black Sabbath have a whole wealth of music in their catalogue, and all of it is worthy of a listen. And as a fan, I love absolutely everything about them. Now, taking Ecstasy, because of my background, I can say that in 1976, I was there when this album came out. It came out the year of Rainbow Rising, Boston's first album. We got New Kids on the Block like Judas Priest, Sad Wings of Destiny, No Heavy Petting by UFO, Uriah Heep were faltering in the background with High and Mighty, and Led Zeppelin had released Presence. So the expectations of a new Black Sabbath album were high. And when it arrived, people loved it. I'm from Birmingham, you can probably tell from my accent. And as I went to the rock pubs, then I was only 17, people saying, have you heard the new Sabbath album? Have you heard the new Sabbath album? It's really good. One friend saying, I don't know if the record company's told them they've got to really up their game, but it's really different. It was progressive. It was almost a prog album in places. There were Queen influences in the kind of backing vocals. The riffage was fantastic. And Tony Iommi laid down some of his best ever lead guitar work on this album. It really is, to me, a milestone in Sabotology, if there's such a word. Anyway, let's have a look inside the box. So I'll just ease off the lid here, and the little sticker on the front says that it's the ultimate Black Sabbath package, 4 CDs, Technical Ecstasy Super Deluxe featuring the original album newly remastered, 2 discs of new mixes and alternative versions mixed by Stephen Wilson, a live concert recording from 1976-77 World Tour, replica concert book, 60-page book with photos, artwork and a colour poster. The one I got was the Rhino Records version, which is a lot cheaper than the UK version, so almost half price. So I paid about £50 for this, so do shop around and see what you can find. And as it said, it was made in Germany, but I ordered it from the States. Okay, in the box, the first thing we have is the book, which we'll go through now. So as with the others, the books are very good. So and as I like to do in these videos, so that you all know what you're going to get, I'll go through it quickly, page by page, so you get a feel for it. They are made up with like lots of press cuttings, but I think they tell the story really well. You all know that I'm a big fan of this kind of memorabilia, and I think most fans are. So I don't think you can have too many press articles or clippings from concert programs from around the world, or photographs of different versions. I think it all works really well. And this one, I'm not saying the others felt like in places they were thrown together. They didn't. Again, you know, I've got a bit of a thing about the Sabotage one, but this one has had a lot of research. Considering the negativity that's thrown at this album, they could have just thought, well, does it really matter? But it matters. And so the people who've compiled this, it obviously matters to them. And I think this is great. You know, there isn't anything that they've really left off. You know, right from the lyric sheet, from the vinyl, you know, stuff from the program, which I'm going to come on to in a moment. You know, different adverts, and you've got all the references here, so you can see that it's been well researched, right up and through an interview in 2020. And then you've got all the different versions as well that came out on Warner Brothers and Vertigo. Picture of the lads, and also some of the compilations that were around at the time. And as it said here, remastered by Andy Pierce and Matt Wortham. And I shall tell you in a moment what I think of these remasters. And the great thing is, give you a hint of what I think about the live one, it's also been mastered by Andy Pierce and Matt Wortham. So no dodgy bootleg at all. Also in the box is the poster, which I shall unfold for you here. And then we have the official program from 1976 to 77. I don't know whether this has been condensed to be a square-shaped program just for the box. I'm not sure. So if anyone saw the tour, you can tell me. But there's lots to read. And again, I think this is a nice touch. They've done this in every box. Might be a little bit of duplication with illustrations, but they are part of the branding of that album, so I don't think that matters at all. And then you got the 4 discs. First one is the original remaster, because I've bought the Rhino version. It's on Warner's, and it also comes with the lyric sheet, as did the original vinyl. The remaster the new mix by Stephen Wilson has like a infrared version of the album cover. That's been completely remixed apart from the mono version of It's Alright. Then you have the outtakes. And some of you will be thinking, oh, well, you probably only play that once. You'd be surprised. I shall tell you all about that in a moment. And that's, as I say, I don't want to give too much away. I'll do that in my sum up, but great stuff. And then finally, the live one. Is it a bootleg? I shall tell you in a moment. But it's got some, you know, great listings and Gypsy, All Moving Parts, Stand Still, Dirty Women from the new album. So as it was then. Okay, so that's the box. What do I think? So that's my run through the box. So now you can see what you're going to get. So what do I feel about it as a box set, and as you as Sabbath fans and music fans, should you have it? Well, when I did Sabotage, and I did a very honest review on that, and I said that no matter which way I looked at it, when I actually put my vinyl album on, Sabotage on vinyl beat that box set and all the other CD remasters that came before it. And that box set, you know, with its very poor live recording, no good. But this one, this is the best one so far. The original Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy vinyl album is quite muddy. And again, you've got to remember, depending on how old you are watching this, what you're playing it on. You know, if I have rose-tinted glasses and try and romanticize what my vinyl copy was like, I was playing it on some Hitachi Music Center back in 1976, so it sounded okay. But now it sounds a bit rough around the edges. The band produced themselves, they just started to manage themselves. They were probably trying to do too much, and it's a very, very adventurous album with the music, the tracks. There's so many new things they're trying out on this. So So how does it compare? I'm going to just look at these others. This was the first CD version I bought. I think it's early 90s. It's equivalent to the vinyl album. The remaster was the best one so far. It was this master that came out, when was it? In 2009. Was fantastic. It was the best Technical Ecstasy had sounded, without a doubt. So what and how do I compare the discs in this? This remaster, again it's by Andy Pierce, but also with Matt Wortham, is the best one so far. I know I just said that with the other one, but this is fantastic. This is so good that there was a few times I had to check that I wasn't playing the remix. I mean, I hadn't played the remix when I was doing this, but I was hearing things on this particular version I hadn't heard before. The clarity of the music and the sound stage on playing this was so incredible that I kept checking to make sure I hadn't got the remix in, because I couldn't work out why it sounded so good and different. It really is fantastic. So I have to say that, is this Super Deluxe Edition Black Sabbath box set worth it? 10 out of 10. The others, you know, they've, apart from Sabotage, they're all good. But this made it straight away. I thought, this is fantastic. I played it twice through. I was so excited about it. The remix. Now, some people have already said online they don't like Steven Wilson's remix. I really do. But what he's tried to do, he hasn't tried to improve upon it. What he's tried to do is give a different flavour to the album that you know. It's a bit like going to an Indian restaurant and having chicken jalfrezi, and you go to a different one and have chicken jalfrezi. The chef will maybe put more chilies in it or something else in it, and it'll have a different flavour. That's what Steven Wilson has done with this. So for the purpose of this review, what are the obvious things? The obvious things are you can hear Geezer Butler's bass lines far more clearly than you could before. Also, you can also hear the keyboard embellishments on all the tracks far better than you could before. That's especially true on All Moving Parts Stand Still, where you can hear like the funky kind of electric keyboard in the background, which is quite hard to hear before. And also the piano on Rock and Roll Doctor is far more to the front. And in some ways the guitar has been pulled back, which is might be why some fans have said, oh, they don't like this mix, because it's not just Iommi in your face. But I think what Steven Wilson's tried to do is show the different things that are going on. So the backing vocals on Dirty Women at the very end of the track, some of you are going, there are backing vocals on Dirty Women? There are, and you can hear them on the remaster, but on the remix you can hear them really clearly, and the backing vocals are there when the solo, when Iommi does that fantastic solo at the end. So that to me makes it absolutely essential. I've got two versions of Technical Ecstasy. Both are absolutely outstanding, and I get a different flavour to the album when I want to listen to it. We then have the outtakes, obviously, and what do I think of these? Normally with this kind of stuff, no matter how enthusiastic I try and get behind them, it's the kind of thing I play once or twice and then I file it away for a rainy day. This is different. This is, some of the tracks are without the keyboards completely, especially Gypsy, and there's less reverb on Ozzy's voice, so it's kind of a flatter. No, it's not a flatter sound, but they've taken out the embellishments of the reverb and stuff. So it's like just the band, as if you're standing in the room with them, and the quality of the recordings is 10 out of 10. There is not one track on here that they're not snippets of tracks; they're whole tracks, and I absolutely loved it. Backstreet Kids, You Won't Change Me, Gypsy, All Moving Parts Stand Still, Rock and Roll Doctor. There's a great little intro there from Ozzy on that track. She's gone. The outtake here, there's got no orchestra. It's just Ozzy with following Tony Iommi's acoustic guitar and Geezer Butler's beautiful bass lines, which also come out really well in the other remix. I would say it's almost worth buying for those. I absolutely found that really so moving, and such a great performance by Ozzy. And then you get an instrumental mix of She's Gone as well, Dirty Women. So it's like the band just playing live, you know. And let's talking about live, we then go on to the final CD. Now, unlike Sabotage, which had a live album which was also available on a bootleg, and no one owned up to even trying to make it sound any good, Andy Pearce has done a good job here. I thought this was going to be bootleg quality. It isn't. This could easily have been an official Black Sabbath album to me. The sound quality is good, the separation's good. It sounds like a proper live recording. So I was over the moon because my expectations for this were low. Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy Super Deluxe Edition box set. I highly recommend this. Out of all the Super Deluxe editions for Black Sabbath so far, this one is the best. Yes, I love the album, and yes, I want more people to understand it and appreciate it, that it is one of Black Sabbath's finest moments. You know, it's back in the day when people say, what was the new Sabbath album like? Because you didn't expect them to do the same thing again. Whereas I think now with heavy metal, people just expect the band, maybe they're too nervous to try anything new, so they just release the same template each time. But then you almost expected your favourite bands to do something a little bit different, to see what they would do and experiment. And this is a very technical album. You know, there's so much going on. You know, there's keyboards, there's multi-layers of guitars, there's backing vocals, there's Bill Ward singing, which is great. And it's highly recommended. So for me, I'm so pleased I bought this. Every single disc will be played often. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of the Now Spinning magazine journey. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, tick that little bell thing over there, and I shall see you on my next video.